Alan Shearer shattered all goal-scoring records in the Premier League and even clinched the title with Blackburn Rovers. However, he never achieved this feat with his beloved Newcastle United. In this video, we're reigniting Shearer's career in modern football, aiming to lead Newcastle United to Premier League glory within 5 seasons. We begin with an overall rating of 82, and at the age of 26, mirroring his initial stint at Newcastle. Our first season wasn't too bad, but we were still a long way from clinching the title. Initially, we had to get used to both Shearer's style of play and that of Newcastle, but we managed to score a lot of goals. This year, Newcastle also plays in the Champions League, and in a group with PSG, Dortmund, and Milan, we even made it to the next round. In the first round of the knockout phase, we also defeated Red Bull Leipzig, but unfortunately our journey ended against Barcelona. However, we did make it to a final, the FA Cup final. This presented an opportunity for Newcastle to clinch their first major trophy since the 1955 season, when they last won the FA Cup. To achieve this, we had to overcome Liverpool, a formidable challenge. Liverpool started strong, taking the lead with a 1-0 score, and after nearly an hour of play, extending their lead to 2-0. But we didn't give up and kept pressing on. Shortly after conceding the second goal, we managed to pull one back, making it 2-1. From that point on, we kept trying, but couldn't find the back of the net again. We had one last chance in the 85th minute, but the shot wasn't good enough. It was yet another lost final for Newcastle. We wrapped up our first season with Newcastle in a commendable 4th place, a solid achievement. In the Premier League, we emerged as the top scorer with 32 goals in 37 matches, earning us the Player of the Season award. Unfortunately, we were again impacted by the absurd contract objectives set by FC24 and couldn't renew with Newcastle, as we didn't meet the optional objectives. But before addressing that, we're heading to the European Championship with England. Our campaign kicks off poorly with a defeat to Norway. 2 goals from Premier League star Ødegaard seal our fate. However, we bounce back with a win against Croatia and manage a draw against Spain. It's just enough, with a stroke of luck, to progress. In the quarterfinals, we face Belgium. After 90 minutes, the score is tied at 1-1, and we head into extra time. Scoring the winning goal in overtime, even in a video game, still gives a great feeling. With Shearer at the helm, we single-handedly send England through to the semi-finals against Germany. However, the semi-final doesn't go well on a personal level, and after 80 minutes of struggle, we're substituted off. We await the outcome with bated breath. But our teammates rise to the occasion, securing victory after penalties, and we find ourselves in the final against Spain, a team we previously drew with. The match is evenly balanced, but after half an hour, Spain takes the lead with a spectacular goal from Oyarzabal. Following that, we gain the upper hand, but a standout performance from the Spanish goalkeeper makes it tough for us. Finally, in the 80th minute, we break through the defense and score the crucial equalizer, leading us into extra time once again. The extension is tense, with few major opportunities. We get one big chance through Harry Kane, but the goalkeeper saves again, and we're headed for another penalty shootout. Both sides successfully convert their first penalty, and we also don't falter from the spot. The shootout continues with each team consistently scoring, bringing the tally to 4-4 when it's James's turn to take the penalty. Pedri is the final player in the regular penalty series, and if he scores, Spain will win the final. Thus, we suffer our second major final defeat in a short span, marking a disheartening start to our career with Alan Shearer. Moving on to our second season, which regrettably we don't begin with Newcastle. We've signed with Spurs. This move pays off sooner than expected. Our first match of the season is against Newcastle, and coming on as a substitute, we are eager to make a strong impression. In the opening minutes, we play with exceptional flair, doing things with Shearer that we hadn't done before. However, hope stands in the way of our first goal in a Spurs shirt. From the resulting corner, we attempt a bicycle kick, which, fortunately, falls to Son's feet, and he hits home the first goal. Then, it's Shearer's turn. We outmaneuver Byrne with a feint and coolly slot the ball home. This was arguably the highlight of our Premier League campaign with Spurs, which concludes in a rather unremarkable 5th place finish. Our successes at Spurs are primarily in tournaments. In the Carabao Cup, we face Aston Villa in the semi-finals. The first leg ends in a 3-2 defeat for us. In the second leg, the score remains level for a long time until we break the deadlock with Shearer. However, the match ends in a draw, leading us to another penalty shootout. We successfully convert the first penalty and then no one misses. Ollie Watkins steps up to take the last penalty in the regular series. But Watkins doesn't falter either, and we enter sudden death. Pedro Porro is next in line to take a shot, and Kamara steps up with the opportunity to deliver the coup de grace, and does so mercilessly. However, our campaign in the Europa League is going quite well. We breeze through the group stage, and in the knockout phase, manage to defeat teams like Roma and Ajax. Against Ajax, with Shearer leading the charge, we score a hat-trick at the Amsterdam Arena. This propels us into yet another major tournament final. The final, set at Anfield, pits us against Sevilla, the undisputed kings of the Europa League. The match is largely played in the midfield, with frequent turnovers on both sides, preventing any real chances until just before halftime. Finally, we find a bit of space, but the keeper easily saves our shot. Following the ensuing corner, we get another shooting opportunity, but once again, the keeper is ready for it. In the second half, we encounter a similar opportunity, but with limited space, we're once again thwarted by the keeper, leading to another corner. The corner is cleared, and the ball lands at our feet. It's one of those days, and you can feel it coming. Sevilla gets their first real opportunity of the match, and they execute it well. 1-0 to Sevilla. We don't manage to create any more significant chances and end up losing yet another final. We finished the season with 19 goals in 38 matches, which isn't bad but not quite good enough. In the Europa League, we performed better, scoring 9 goals in 13 matches. The good news for Season 3 is, we're back at Newcastle right where we belong. Our third season must be one of redemption. With Newcastle, we aim to break into the top 4 again, following their 6th place finish last season. Personally, we're on a quest for more goals, and our first trophies, whatever they may be. In the Premier League, we're in fine form, scoring 27 goals in 38 matches. Unfortunately, Phil Foden has the season of his life, netting an impressive 34 goals. We achieve our goal with Newcastle, finishing 4th in the Premier League, far behind champions Liverpool, but level with City, and above clubs like United, Spurs, and Chelsea. Most importantly, this secures our spot in next season's Champions League. Speaking of European football, we compete in the Conference League this year and perform exceptionally well. We breeze through the group stage and face Athletic Bilbao in the round of 16. The match is evenly matched, and once again, it all comes down to the dreaded penalty shootout. And as you can see, we miss our very first penalty. But what follows is a series where both goalkeepers become the heroes. Then, at the decisive moment of the penalty shootout, Willock steps up with ice-cold composure, allowing our goalkeeper the chance to cement his status as a hero. We then battle our way past Atalanta Bergamo in the quarterfinals and Stade Rennes in the semifinals. Against Rennes, we score the equalizer in the dying moments of the game. After a substitution, we watch from the sidelines as our teammates finish the job in extra time. In the final, AS Monaco awaits us. Is this finally the final where we can shake off our previous disappointments and claim victory? Twice we have to come back from a deficit. First, Alexander Isak helps us draw level with Monaco, and then we capitalize on a penalty to make it 2-2. However, once again, we find ourselves heading to penalties in a final. We successfully convert our first penalty, and our teammates follow suit. Our keeper maintains his excellent form, playing a heroic role by saving 2 consecutive penalties. Now, all we need is to score, and we'll finally clinch our first trophy. So, we missed the decisive penalty with a Panenka, but we still have our incredible goalkeeper. And he does it again. He saves the penalty, and with that, we finally break our finals curse. We win the Conference League. Granted, it's often seen as a secondary prize, but at this moment, we're thrilled with any trophy we can get our hands on. After the triumphant final, we head to the World Cup with England. We make it to the final again, but unfortunately, we lose to Italy. We even have a chance to equalize in the closing moments, but it's not meant to be. Let's swiftly move on to the new season with Newcastle. Midway through the season, things aren't looking great, and it seems we might have to put our Newcastle dream on hold for at least another year. Strangely enough, we're doing remarkably well in the Champions League, advancing to the knockout stage as group winners. let's dive into our Champions League journey. First up, we draw Benfica. After a thrilling battle, we defeat them at St. James's Park, with us scoring twice. Then comes another titanic clash in the quarterfinals, this time against Liverpool. Once again, we score twice, sealing the deal on our home turf. Meanwhile, with only 5 matches remaining in the Premier League, to our amazement, we've climbed up to 3rd place. We're still quite a distance behind Manchester United, but we're suddenly back in the race. After a series of mixed results, the situation on the final day of play is as follows. We are tied for 2nd with Manchester City and just 1 point behind Manchester United. We head to Brentford, aware there's a slim chance for something magical to happen. Fueled by the idea that our goal is within reach, we start off strongly, and within just a few minutes, we've already netted the first goal. After 20 minutes, we score again, making it 2-0, effectively sealing the match. Throughout the game, we receive no updates from the other fields, and after 91 minutes, the final whistle blows on our 4th Premier League season. A miracle has happened. Both Manchester clubs dropped points, and we clinched the Premier League title with Newcastle United. It's the first championship for Newcastle at the top level in England in decades, and the first since it officially became the Premier League. But there's more. After the match, we're awarded the Player of the Season trophy, crowning a fantastic season with Newcastle United, where we eventually become the top scorer in England, with 27 goals in 38 matches. And then, of course, there's the Champions League. In the semi-finals, we defeat PSG, reaching the final at Wembley where Arsenal awaits as our opponent. Riding high on the exhilaration of our Premier League title, we seem unstoppable. Within the first 20 minutes, we smash in a left-footed shot to make it 1-0. Just after half-time, Arsenal forgets who they are dealing with, giving us far too much space on the edge of the penalty area, and we don't hesitate. The ball rockets into the top corner, and it's 2-0. 10 minutes later, we position ourselves again at the edge of the box and unleash another strike. We complete a phenomenal hat-trick on ultimate difficulty in the Champions League final. We win the Champions League, adding to the earlier earned Premier League title. After a journey filled with lost finals and frustrating moments, we can now wrap up this story with a beautiful bow. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what scenario you'd like to see played out with your favorite football icon. Check out our video with Zinedine Zidane. Goodbye from us.